Dragon, rock, dragon, come, get me. Dragon Ball Z. Dragon, dragon, rock, dragon, dragon Ball Z. Dragon, dragon, rock, dragon, come, get me. Dragon, dragon, rock, dragon, dragon Ball Z. Dragon, dragon, rock, dragon, come, get me.
Dragon Ball Sparking Zero brings back the cherished Sparking or Budokai Tenkaichi series as a fundamental part of Dragon Ball's gaming legacy. Created by Bandai Namco and designed to appease today's standards of fighting game mechanics, the game combines intense combat with expansive narrative of Dragon Ball. So the goal of this review is to explore how Sparking Zero can live up to the legacy and enhance its predecessors while incorporating movements, gameplay, storytelling, and graphics. Yes, I know it's yet another late review and I am sorry for that. However, this video will catch us up on the schedule leading into the new year, which I'll explain at the end. And assuming we can get this one out in time, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. But again, we will get to that later. So now, with all that said, smash down a Senzu bean, power up a Kamehameha, and you, yeah you, I'm looking at you, put down that erotic Bulma fan art. I know I'm no one to talk, but at least for the moment, because it's time to discuss Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. The Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi series, known for its expansive rosters and chaotic battles, debuted back in the mid-2000s. It goes against the typical 2D fighting games that Dragon Ball was limited to at the time, opting to go with a third-person view and provide a larger open arena levels to fight in. Now, a lot of people will say that this style of gameplay is far more superior as a version, as it's able to replicate and showcase the sheer insanity that the fights you can have which match up with the anime. And while it's by no means the first arena fighting game, it was among the first to really break out in popularity with the support of a known popular IP, alongside other games such as Godzilla Destroy All Monsters and Sonic Battles. Renowned for capturing the anime's energy, it became a fan favorite for its more open arena freedom and gameplay variety. Sparking Zero serves as a revival of the series, reimagining its mechanics and visuals for contemporary audiences while staying faithful to the franchise essence, bringing characters from across Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball GT. The game offers players a chance to relive iconic battles and explore some pretty crazy what-if scenarios. Now here is where I will mention that while I do believe this game will be far more appealing to both long-time Dragon Ball fans and those who have recently taken a liking to the series, however, I wouldn't say it's completely required, as this game as a fighting game is solid, if flawed, which we will get into, but let's be honest, this game is made to appeal and to be sold to Dragon Ball fans. In fact, I was in Japan when this game launched and the marketing was everywhere. The combat system in Sparking Zero revitalizes the series' frenetic arena-based battles. Players can execute powerful combos, unleash dynamic key attacks, and undergo cinematic transformations during combat. The controls are user-friendly, making it easy for newcomers to jump in, while still offering substantial complexity for experienced players. And when I mention complexity, I mean there is a significant level of intricacy involved in battles. You have the standard moveset and combos, but the array of advanced techniques available can be both very impressive and daunting for casual fighting game enthusiasts. Some of these mechanics can be strategically exploited, but generally there are counters to nearly every move, including counters to those counters. Sparking Zero stays true to its origins with an expansive lineup that includes characters throughout the franchise. Players can choose from iconic figures like Goku and Vegeta, as well as some lesser known characters like Turles. Yes, I know Dragon Ball fans, everyone knows who Turles is, but to the outside fan, probably not, but there's plenty of characters like that. Now this provides the opportunity to recreate nearly any battle scenario they can envision. However, this abundance of characters comes with a caveat. Many are just variations of the same character, like Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan 2 Goku, and so on, Z Goku, early Super Goku, Dragon Ball Goku, you get the idea. The developers have addressed this by giving each variant a unique moveset. For instance, Super Saiyan 3 Goku features distinct moves and generally improved stats compared to earlier versions of the character. And this is something I'll delve deeper into when we discuss the DP battles. Returning to the character selection, while there is a wide array to choose from, there is a noticeable absence of original Dragon Ball characters. It would be great to see a wave of these characters in future DLC, as well as a lack of iconic characters is somewhat disappointing. Notably, PyCon isn't there. Where is Super 17? And my boy Poi Poi, get Poi Poi in there. We have been robbed. The game features tag team mechanics that allow players to switch between fighters in real time and even transform into new forms. And as a fan of Teen Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I never get tired of seeing his transformation. In fact, all the transformations in this game are visually stunning and evoke a sense of nostalgia for me. Moreover, the inclusion of stamina and key management system adds a layer of strategy encouraging thoughtful gameplay rather than just reckless aggression. Unless you're playing as Broly. If you're playing as Broly, just rush in and start swinging. I also appreciate that most of the Android characters automatically charge their key, unlike other characters who need to do it manually. This is a great addition by the developers, making the gameplay much more faithful to the Dragon Ball source material. Now, it has been a while since I played one of these Budokai games, so I do not recall if this feature was always present, so let me know in the comments if this was always there or if this is a new thing. The game offers various modes, including a story mode that explores significant arcs such as the Saiyan Saga, Friesen Saga, Tournament of Power, and everything in between. Alongside comprehensive versus mode, a notable aspect is the what if feature, which creates alternate timelines like maybe Goku transformed into a Super Saiyan during the Saiyan arc, or what if it was Vegeta and Trunks that defeated Cell? Now, some of these alternate scenarios are quite imaginative, and others tend to stick to more conventional ideas, which I personally find less appealing. I feel like if we're gonna do some far out there what if scenario, well, let's go far out there and just come up with some crazy shit. Sparking Zero offers an exciting feature that allows players to create custom battles with unique scenarios. Users can incorporate character text-based dialogue to provide context before each fight, along with a starting screen that resembles the opening of an anime episode. Additionally, players can customize settings that influence both the players and the NPCs. One of the standout aspects of this feature is the ability for players to upload their custom scenarios for other players to experience. And these scenarios can range from silly scenarios such as Ultra Instinct Goku, who just can't take damage, has decided that he really hates kids, so we play as him and have to kill Pan, Goten, and Child Gohan. Or maybe something more serious like perhaps Nappa turns on Vegeta and Raditz before taking on Frieza himself. This is one of my favorite features in Sparking Zero. There is some creative people out there that come up with some really cool scenarios, and then you got the people that come up with some very bizarre scenarios, like I mentioned with just being a child murderer. Utilizing Unreal Engine 5, Sparking Zero does well bringing the anime experience to life through cel-shaded graphics and smooth animations. The transformation scenes like Goku's transition into Super Saiyan are fantastic, featuring dynamic lighting and detailed character designs. However, certain characters may appear somewhat comical when speaking, and as someone who has said many times that I think Unreal 5 is a bit iffy at the best of times and needed more time to cook, I actually think this might be one of the best uses of the engine that I have played. The settings are dynamic and varied, spanning from the barren landscapes of Planet Namek to the lively avenues of West City. Every stage captures the essence of Dragon Ball, featuring destructible elements that deepen the experience. It's exhilarating to slam your opponent into the waters of Namek, then dive down to continue the battle underneath the surface, only to have that fight shift to the skies moments later. Unfortunately, the game does not come with music from the anime, which is something I found very disappointing. In fact, Nazma, play Gogeta's theme from Fusion Reborn. Fuck me, does that theme go hard. I do believe you can purchase some of the anime music in an anime bundle, but this is a letdown in a game that does so well in appealing to fans of Dragon Ball. However, on a positive note, the sound effects in this game are great and straight out of the anime. From iconic key aura to the sound of instant transmission, it's all there. The story mode faithfully recreates major arcs starting from the arrival of Raditz with the Saiyan Saga and goes all the way to the end of the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super. And that's without doing any of the what-ifs along the way. While the fights themselves are good, as they are the meat of the game, I do believe it's a great missed opportunity to not start with the original Dragon Ball series and then go into Z. And then at the end of Dragon Ball Z, there should be branching paths that go off in two directions. One goes into Dragon Ball GT, and one goes into Dragon Ball Super and its corresponding movies. It just seems weird to me to have some of the most prominent GT characters and their forms as main playable sections to use them in. And this is where people will say, well, there's non-canon characters in the game. Do you think they should have a branching story section? My answer is yes, absolutely. That would have been awesome. Imagine a chapter on something like the first Broly movie, which isn't canon, where you play as Broly and take on the Z Fighters. The narrative is divided into multiple character perspectives, each with their own unique journeys and potential scenarios that can be explored along the way. Choosing which character to play as allows players to delve into their stories, including some of the antagonists. However, this approach can disrupt the pacing significantly. For instance, when following Goku's storyline on Namek, he only ever confronts Frieza in his 4th form, skipping the battles against Frieza's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd forms. To truly experience the full Frieza fight on Namek, players must switch to different character storylines to maintain continuity. And while most players are likely Dragon Ball enthusiasts that are familiar with the Namek saga more than the back of their own hand, this makes it a minor concern. I understand that it is still worth noting, especially since the game's cutscenes often resemble a slideshow of the original content. I will also add that I personally feel like there were too many smaller scale fights that were removed. For example, something like Vegeta slaughtering Frieza Force troops could have served as something like a mini rush mode where the opponents are significantly weaker. Oh, and Vegeta vs Poi Poi just isn't here. Even in the games, Vegeta is being done dirty. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero does cater to fans, packing the game with delightful nods and hidden gems, such as Roshi looking at a nudie magazine in secret. I personally laughed so much at how the gallery in this game is accompanied by Chi-Chi, Bulma, and Videl in a group chat where the player can press a button to have them talk about whichever character you have highlighted. I also just really like the idea of women being regulated to speaking when I press a button. If only if that was reality. The level of detail is astonishing, perfectly capturing Goku's legendary Kamehameha pose and the dynamic transformations that mirror the movements in the anime. Fans of Dragon Ball GT series will also be excited to see the Super Saiyan 4 transformations, featuring distinct animations that convey their wild intensity. Moreover, the game honors beloved rivalries by providing unique intro cutscenes for classic matchups, such as Goku vs Frieza, or Piccolo vs Goku, and Vegeta vs Beerus, for example. I know a lot of the memes involve future Gohan, and these intros feel as if they were taken directly from the manga, amplifying the nostalgic excitement and passion for the franchise. Okay, now this is where I want to talk about DP battles. I know what you're thinking, but no, that's not what DP stands for, at least not in this context. A DP battle is a fundamental gameplay element in which players can create a team of characters whose total destruction points, DP, must not exceed 15. Each character has a specific DP value, requiring players to thoughtfully select a balanced lineup within this constraint to face off against another team. In essence, a DP battle centers around the strategic selection of characters with suitable DP values to form a cohesive and effective team. So a character that's insanely powerful like Whis, for example, will take up much more DP, which will result in you being able to use less further characters. I really like this mechanic as it allows players to make creative teams that allows the game to make characters that are more powerful in the anime and manga also be more powerful in the game as well. And now this is also where the many variants of the same characters come into play. Do I want to use more DP to bring in Super Saiyan 3 Goku? Or do I just want to come in with base Goku to save DP for other character slots and attempt to power up Goku during the match and transform into each version of the Super Saiyan as the match goes on? Same thing for a character like Cell. Use more DP for perfect Cell, or use less DP for Cell and attempt to power up the transform all the way throughout the match to get to perfect Cell. You can even do the same thing with fusion characters like Gotenks, for example. In the PvP mode, there is an option for more casual matchups and a ranked playlist. In the non-ranked versions, you can quick match or join a server. In ranked mode, it's limited to only quick matches with an elo system as you would expect. However, the ranked playlist has produced the nastiest, dirtiest, filthiest levels of sweats to ever exist in the competitive scene. I mean, these players have gone away into their stat-crunching, moveset theorizing workshops and have produced some of the stinkiest cheese strats to ensure they get a win. This is usually okay and part of the course, but unfortunately, as people will constantly remind you with the imbalance of the Budokai Tenkaichi series, it's not meant to be a balanced game. It's meant to represent the power imbalance of something like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta versus some weak piss character like Chaozu. However, if you're going to add a ranked competitive mode, then not doing something as standard as normalizing health bars so that players are on equal footing for health is just bad design. That imbalance should have really been kept to the casual modes only. Speaking of cheese though, to really highlight this, as of this recording, the most recent official tournament had their French regional qualifier finals be sabotaged by a player in protest. He was able to pick Android 19 and spam Dragon Rush up and down forever and get the win by default. If that doesn't tell you the balance patch is needed to be implemented way sooner, then I don't know what will. Sparking Zero does run smoothly on all platforms with consistent frame rates during even the most chaotic battles. The loading times are minimal. It should be noted that at launch there was a major problem with input delay, and while it is better now, there is still many noticeable moments where some of your inputs just won't register. They're definitely not as frequent as they were at launch, but it's still a noticeable issue that needs to be fixed, and losing a fighting game due to input delay or just straight up not registering is one of the most frustrating things in all of gaming. There is also some minor bugs such as hitbox inconsistencies and occasional camera issues which can disrupt the flow of combat, and once I had an NPC just stop moving and the match wouldn't end, but they are infrequent, and the input delay issues is far more of a problem. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero excels with its fast character selection, engaging combat mechanics with the addition of alternate storylines, and tag team battles enhances its replayability, making it a worthwhile experience for both casual gamers and dedicated fighting game enthusiasts. Sparking Zero stands out among Dragon Ball games by striking a good balance between nostalgia and fresh ideas. Unlike something like Dragon Ball FighterZ, which focuses on competitive and technical gameplay, Sparking Zero delivers a more chaotic, free-form experience that truly reflects the vastness of the source material. Its unique what-if scenarios differentiate it from other titles like Kakarot, providing a more imaginative and dynamic adventure for players seeking an experience that goes beyond traditional storytelling. Despite its shortcomings, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero effectively breathes new life into the cherished Sparking series, providing a genuine and thrilling Dragon Ball experience, featuring an extensive character roster and fresh gameplay mechanics with many characters and outfits that can be unlocked simply by playing the game. The game caters to both veteran fans and those new to the franchise, and players can either revisit classic moments or dive into alternate timelines, ensuring a wealth of excitement in this tribute to one of anime's most iconic titles. Thank you very much, everybody. I truly appreciate you all checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero in the comment section down below. Be sure to share the video. If you really enjoyed it, consider becoming a member. It really does help with the production of these types of videos. However, I am hoping to have this video out before Christmas, so again, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. If I'm late, I'm sorry. I will ensure that Nazma gets the proper whooping.
But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
But speaking of Nazma, I want to give a big thank you to Nazma and Skirmiter for really helping me this year to change up the content and provide more of these types of videos, which you guys seem to really enjoy more. And I do appreciate all of your support. It means a lot to me and both Naz and Skirmiter. And going into 2025, this is the type of stuff we're going to be continuing with. We've got quite a few projects in the works. I know everyone's saying, where the fuck is the Gears of War 2 video? It is coming. I promise you that. We have a whole lot of other things we're working on as well. We're going to continue uploading here, and we're going to get some smaller videos over on Lethal TV and continue gronking. We have a big 2025 plan. Thank you so very much, and I'll see you all in the next one.
Vegeta! It's a Pokemon, Vegeta!
No. You, Nappa.